All right, hello, hello. Sorry about that. I was picking up coffee. I was like, not picking up, but picking it up in the kitchen. I was like, oh god, I'm almost out of coffee. Let's not do this way. So, let me get this over here. Get chat over here. There we go. All right. Ooh, what is this? There's like a gnat. There we go. All right, sorry. There's like a I don't know where the heck that thing came from. All right, so let's just jump in. Data today. Great retail sales data out of the pound. You can see the euro pound down 30. Standard, a decent move to the downside. You're seeing pound yen up. Most of that though is yen. If you can see, dollar yen is also up 127. So big move there. We are having a dollar strength. When I say dollar strength, it's an okay strength move. It is not like a 800 or 8 million pip type position. But again, some decent movement with the dollar right now, and again, that may reflect what we have coming in next week. Um, CAD retail sales not good. Adjustment down. Dollar CAD is up 53, so it actually could be up, I think, a lot more than that. But you're seeing right now versus the euro, you're seeing some strength, and then again, we know strong pound, strong data. You can see right there, it's rallying back up again. It's only 8, so not a ton of movement. But it just shows you it's a strong scenario. They're both kind of fighting each other. Obviously it's Friday. Tomorrow, nothing, right? Sunday, Spanish, parliamentary election. Probably not the biggest mover in the world. So, yeah, we'll see. But overall, obviously the yen is the big player on the board right now going into a Friday. When you look at things, the VIX, right now it's showing down just a little bit from where it closed. And again, there was that spike up yesterday and a push back down. There's not really much more. I mean, I think right now it's kind of set up for a feel good Friday. So, yeah, right. Sorry, whew, that coffee's it's definitely hot. It's definitely hot. All right, so yeah, so we're seeing a little bit again. Not really any data out there today that could really kind of make this crazy. So I think overall, not necessarily the worst thing in the world being where it is. The dollar, it's creeping up a little bit from where it was yesterday. Again, you can see where it closed. And again, we've been on this rally all week. We started Monday, Tuesday down here, and then we, went up. Again, nice little impulse move, little correction move on Wednesday. And then yesterday, just, again, continued movement, hit 1030 and it kind of pulled back and then just slowed down a lot, ton in the overnight. And then about 3 o'clock this morning, we got another burst and it's pulling back again. So right now we're technically in a racetrack type scenario. Looking to the left, we have nothing until we get back up to this 101.43. Where we are, we've had so much movement in the last 24 hours in this one. Well, really, I guess since Wednesday night. So really from Thursday up, we're kind of pushing back again. We would, typically you're going to see some profit taking coming in this scenario. So, it's kind of where we're at with it right now. Indices all in the green, and I think right now, as they kind of should be, right? I mean, dollar's being good, they're pulling back. Japan's talking about doing some things. Pound is overall looking good. No recession yet. So, I mean, overall, indices in the green. It is Friday. Again, not a lot of news that really can sidetrack us and kind of tank this whole situation. So, all green there. Commodities are a little bit mixed. Gold and silver both down. You can see silver pulling back from that 25 again, back down to that 24.70, and gold back down to 1963. Natural gas down. It is down, but it's up at 271. So we're about 5 cents higher than we were 2 days ago. And oil holding up at 76.35. Yeah, it's up about 1%, about 70 cents. Again, we know that 77.20 mark was an area in the past. Um, yeah, yeah, it's one of those things. It's like, Um, yeah, it is what it is. It's like, we talked about it potentially going higher, and it's going higher. I mean, I wish you could say it's like, that's it, it's done, it's going back down to 60. But yeah, it's kind of like we avoid, it's great that, we could potentially be avoiding a recession, but at the same time, um, yeah, avoiding recession means that, again, this thing can move more. So yeah, that's where we're at. Um, Yeah, that's where we're at. Let's go right over the currencies. All right. So again, we talked about this pushing down Wednesday night. We were looking for a push, and we thought it would go a little bit further. It ended up coming down, grabbing more, going back up again. It's like, okay, wait, now we're starting to put new hot lows in. We had a big push up, and we talked about the 618 level, and you can see the 618 level right there. It hit it late, late, and then again we started off Thursday morning about 6:30, and again there's a hit here, a hit here, a hit here. You're like, all right, that's like 3 hits already. And we ended up going up, and the next level that we had been untested was the level sitting right here. And that's what it ended up using the next hit on there. But again, it was a nice little push back down from this hit from the 61.8. That ran about 35 pips down. So very easy. Again, looking at the level there, very, very easy run. You can see it's definitely a 1 to 3 to the downside. And then if you wanted to take it again from the new higher level, again, you could do the same trade all over again. The risk was about the same, very tiny. Only about 8, 9 pips. And you can see from basically yesterday morning, we're down all the way back 115 pips. And again, we're looking at this. We knew we'd have some buying down here. And that's where we're at right now. So it's pretty extended. I think it's important to point out right here is the 3 o'clock candle right there. It's really been straight down. So, you know, there is going to be profit taking in this one. It has pushed down pretty handily, right? Um, you can see that's what we look like as far as where the bases are with the current motion. There's nothing around the 23.6. It doesn't mean it can't be used. Obviously, it's lower volume today. But right now, I think Aussie is really kind of set up for like a weekend based trade here. Um, Ooh, hot. I don't like coffee that's that hot. Um, we do have a level of basing right around the 50. I think an important trade to look for next week right now on this one um, is really kind of a break to the top side of that one. There's a Harry Potter. We got some room to run. It's been here. It's touched. It's touched. It's touched. It went a little bit deeper and then crashed. There could still be sellers in that one, but I'm looking for kind of a long position. And again, I don't think it's a today trade. Um, I don't think we can get that much weakness, and it's about 8 pips. Maybe we can extend that one up a little bit more, but 1 to 3 is only sitting right about there. It's right before where it should be. So overall, I think this is probably more of a trade for next week when we see kind of the dollar pulling back. But I'd be looking at this one to kind of go in that direction. Now, this may be the bottom. It may not be. If you look to the left, you can see that it has the ability to come all the way back down again. Let's throw a horizontal line right there. So we know that that's, of course, it's not going to be right on. Of course, right there. 66.94. That's the next real area. So if this starts to get low, right? Again, we're doing a little chop at the U.S. Open. If it starts to continue to go from that low, we got about another 37 pips, right? About another 37 pips. Hold on one sec, guys. Hold on. All right. So, um, again, we got room to run on this one. I wouldn't, again, it is a downtrend. We will see profit taking. It is Friday, so we should start seeing this level out. Um, all right. So, again, trade for next week. Right now, I wouldn't be looking for anything as far as buys go. Probably still down in this level right here. Right. There we go. All right. Hold on. All right. So, I'll see again. So, I'll see again. Again, we had some buying in there, and we talked about this one on Wednesday. You can see that it did come up there at 10:30. That was a reversal, and we said, "Hey, listen, it's running into all these sellers here. It's going to take a lot to break through." Than it did. It ended up hitting it just barely, and then boom, huge crash to the downside on that one. And you can see that one ended. That move really happened at about 10:30, 11 o'clock. It was right after we got off. 50 pip runner to the downside, and then it started to run back up again. The 94.95 area right here at 78, it became very, very choppy. And it ended up going higher. And as you can see, this 95.34, we talked about it before. It was the last really major, right? Major area hit here with a drop, backstop by that 61.8. Nice hit here, and then push back to the downside. So very, very strong movement off of that one. And then again, Thursday morning, we retraced back up again. So we ended up punching higher. And if you look at this level, 1, 2, you could say 3 and 4, or you could just say 1, 2, and 3. It got blasted through. It wasn't even able to provide a hiccup. Now, it did kind of try a little Harry Potter. It did push a little bit higher. And if you look back, let's see. This right here is, whoops, right there. That's where we ended up basically reversing off of. You can see it right there. So it was at a fine level. And again, these are the things we like. A big drop like that, a one green candle with no base at the bottom, forming like a little bit of triangle, right? And then we see that big push. Hold on, I'm about to sneeze. I don't want to sneeze your face. Hold on one second, guys. Okay. Whew. I was able to stop it. Whew, that was close. I was like, oh God, stop, stop. It was like hitting the upper lip. So right now we've had a nice move. If you want to run, want to run reverse fibs on that one. Here all the way up. All right. I don't actually mind the 50 zone here. Again, there was a lot of stuff going there. All right. So, hmm. Yeah, I think that's the next level we look at. I think we look right back up here. All right. Yeah, I think 95.72. I think 95.72 is what we're looking for right now. That'd be the nice reversal level. And again, some of this we're gonna need some yen help, but for the most part, let's look for it to rise. Euro dollar. Uh, all right. Euro dollar. Okay, this is one we had set up. We had an alert that went off, and again, all it did was peek through and went right back up again. We didn't get any basing there. Now, hold on. All right. We're starting to push through the bottom. The hard part about this one is it's almost kind of just triggered, right? Let me pull this back a little bit. So we're always looking for Harry Potters. We're looking for bases. You could make a case that, hey, listen, there was some basing in there. You can make a case that there was basing up there. There was also some basing right here. So again, there is a spot right here. That you can look for this one to turn and run to the downside. Yeah, I mean, we may have just triggered it. Maybe we can get another base in, but right now, we're clearing that time frame. Mm, this one may have just left without us. I think that's going to be the base. And again, this whole area is what we are looking for. So again, if you need one, it may be leaving. Let's see. Did we get a headline on that one? Hmm. I'm afraid this one's probably going to leave without us. I'm going to mark the bottom side off and start preparing this one for next week. Let's see. What's we got to run? Yeah, I still like this one to the downside. Yeah, look for this one to come down to 110. I do like this one to come back to 110. It's got 120 pips. I think we eat away from that today. We may not get down there all the way, but again, look for this to kind of push. Look for a little bit more push to the downside. Yeah, look for a little bit more push. Um, Euro pound. All right, so Euro pound. It looks like we held that level up top. Again, we drew this on Wednesday. Looks like we hit that yesterday morning at 8, pulled back again. Um, 23, 23 already was used, so that pushed a little bit lower. Looks like at this point, again, I actually don't mind this level right here. Again, the red was the deep one. Let's see. Hmm. There is a zone sitting right below too. And again, let's just keep this in context too. We're looking at this zone, and this could definitely be a possible reversal. But let's keep it, again, even with a monstrous day like this, the daily ATR is 47. Okay. The daily ATR is 47. Um, I don't know that we can hold up top. 9, 9. I think this is probably our biggest area for a buy right now. Like 80, 85, 84. Yeah, 85, 84. I think that's a decent spot. I like it. I like it. Um, I think that's our best option. Yeah, I don't think the 50 is going to provide much. We had a little bit of base here and then a nice little pop. I'm going to say 86. I'm going to say there's our top and bottom right now. And I think either of these two can be used on a Sunday night. Let's mark this one off. Sunday. Let's see where we're at right there. Um, Not it does not qualify for a Harry Potter. If it does go back down again, there is a small pop here, but it's only a few pips, so not super worried about it. Um, yeah, I think that's what we're looking for, right? Urian's popping right off that level too. Mm. All right, so yeah, there. I really don't want to Harry Potter that one just because of this zone right here, but I think there's a decent base in there. This zone is very small though. We're only talking about 8 pips on that one. I think right now, I think top and bottom we're going 86, 91, 85, 84. Kind of see where this one goes. Yeah, yeah. I think those are the two levels you're looking for right now. I think those are two options. I'm just really hesitant to take this one short from that level, although I do like the pound strength coming in right now. So again, maybe a bounce in there. Maybe we hold up here. Maybe it just starts back and forth. And if we can gap into there, that could potentially be a buy going into Monday morning. Well, Sunday night, Monday morning. So see what it looks like there. Um, all right, Euro yen. So we had marked off this level 158. We were looking for a clean break. Now it ended up using that level, right? Let's see. Did we have it? Yeah, it's fine. So we punched through it and we based in it, which I think is great. And then we got another little bit of a confirmation, right? Right about there. And it's almost exactly the same as what we were looking for. Now, the big question is going to be, what do we do next? We are forming buyers back here. So if we have continued euro strength, right, we should be able to punch through the next time because it did just barely break it and we do have a base. So the Harry Potter trade, whoops, I think is still valid in here. If we're able to punch through, if we kind of do one of these, right, I think that's where we go higher. Um, Again, we may start to deteriorate back down again. This is obviously, again, European Open right there, right? So again, kind of more of an emotional based news. Kind of an emotional based bit of news. So again, strong push high, and then looking this one to deteriorate back down again. So, um, yeah, yeah, I like it high. Again, it's the same trade we talked about before. Breakthrough 158. Look for that base in there as a confirmation, not a quick spike through. But that quick spike through helps us out a ton because it's another smash of this level, and it did actually punch higher. What we need now is for it to rally back up and put some type of a zone. Um, we need some type of a zone in here. If we can get a zone in there of it accumulating buyers, that'd be a nice punch through. Okay. Um, all right. Let's see. Pound dollar. All right, so pound dollar, we're still getting this big pullback, and again, this is that massive amount of dollar strength rolling back in. So let's pull this one. This Harry Potter, you can see it did the same thing. It came down, it missed it just by a little bit, but again, the base came in. You should have got short this one right here yesterday morning, or actually late last Wednesday night. Before that, to push lower, you can see this one used it, based, use it again. Um, Hmm. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Yeah, I think we got to look for a pullback in this one. I like this zone. I'm gonna say right now, I do like this zone. I like how the green was the high. I like the two descending candles, the base, and again, I like the response back out of it. So, I'd say again, probably. I mean, maybe hold on, we may be able to get it today. Let's see, 18 pips, 36. Hmm. Put that there. I don't need this anymore. That one is out. Out. Keep that one across there. Yellow. Okay. Yeah. Bottoms. 50. Got about another 30 pips to go. Yeah, I think if we get a pullback, I'm good with this one. Even if we continue to go lower, I think this is a decent trade. 18. I'm gonna put a target down there on that one. Hmm. Yeah, I think that's a decent trade setup. I think we save this one. Even if it goes lower, I'm good with it. What would take? That's a nice push down. Yeah, I like this one either way. I think I'm good with this one. I think that save this one for again, probably not today because again the strength is in. I think this is if we get any type of a pullback, particularly for next week for this, right? For this, I think it's pretty decent. What's it- Jen had her first dentist appointment today and 4 cavities. So obviously there's lots of messages going back and forth. Um, yeah, she has to go. They're going to do the laughing gas, and yeah, she's not happy. Anyway, so yeah, I like the trade setup. Save that one for a little bit later on. All right. Yeah. All right. So pound yen. All right, so pound yen, we talked about a big spike back up again on Wednesday at 10:30. We said look for it to move. It did push back up again. It ended up using that level one more time, and we had an alert set in here. We knew that that's where profit taking was coming in, right? All right. As you can see, though, we talked about two different levels in here. Again, not the best formation. We mentioned this one. We said the way that this form, we typically like to see it back. Um, all right. All right. So again, the 185.52 is a level we talked about before. It doesn't necessarily line up with a fib, but it's the next level that was kind of untested, but it was a decent level. Strong spike in there. And then again, the green is the high. In here, the green is the high, but it already started to form a base and then it pushed it about half the way. So I didn't like it as much. And that got run through. Now it did push back to that level. And as you can see, this higher level had that nice little hit at 530. Again, 530 reversals. We know what happens at that time. And bam, there was your reversal push back down again. Now the question is, when we get up there again, is it another sell level? With the response off of that, I actually don't think it's a horrible spot. Um, um, I think where we are right now, I think this is a decent reversal point. You guys know my opinion on trading on Friday afternoons. Again, things start to kind of get a little bit difficult. But again, 182.50. We'll just put it right at 182.50. Makes it a little bit easy. Big round number. Nice little place to be. I think this is a decent level for a couple things. One, could we have that be a reversal Sunday night? Absolutely. If you need to trade today, it's not the worst of levels. Again, we've had the big emotional response, the retracement back again, and then obviously the US session right now is taking off and it's more of a yen play. The pound will run out of steam pretty soon. So right now we are sitting about 50 pips away. It does have a 75 pip daily ATR, but it is Friday. Could we hit off of that and profit taking come in on this one? Absolutely. And then again, at 12 o'clock, could this be a nice reversal? It could. Now, it has been hit, but it had a great response off of it. So understand, it is not a first hit of that level that we had marked off. There is a level sitting right above, and the thing about this upper level, it is the 78.6, which you guys know I don't love the 78.6. So, you know, yeah. Hmm. All right. So 182.50. So, yeah, I would say either of those two levels are decent reversal points for today. It is Friday. If you do need it, I don't think the 182.50 is bad. As far as how big that area is, it's about 23 pips. So, again, it is the pound yen. It does move. We are high. It is up 1% today. The pound is running out of steam. Again, because we get a 10:30 reversal, it's probably going to be more like 11:30 or 12 o'clock if it comes in. But if we get this one, and again, you want to be a little bit more conservative with it, look for that red, green, red, right? Look for that red, green, red. So next thing to look at, dollar CAD. All right, so dollar CAD. Obviously, we know we had some news coming out this morning. The CAD actually had really great data. I mean, in all honesty, I'm sorry, not the CAD. It was bad. It got adjusted on both sides. The forecast was already supposed to be low. And then here's the thing. Although it is red, the data is actually not as bad as what it seems. So ideally, do you want this? I mean, yes, it was adjusted point down, but they blew it out of the water last time. So it wasn't starting as high. And then it was expected to come back down. And it looks like it was worse, right? But it was also starting a little bit lower. So the reality is, it's not necessarily horrible. And that's core. The retail sales number, kind of the same thing. It adjusted down, so it wasn't actually as high as it was. It was expected to come down, and it came down a little bit worse, but overall still positive when they were already expecting to be down, and the market was able to factor that in. Now, it is taking off, so it is US based right now, but what I would say on the dollar CAD, the good thing about this one is we do actually have a confirmed area. It's like, hey, listen, we got a bottom in there, so we can start dragging some fibs on here. As you can see, we've already used the 50 once, and there is a level sitting there. I think this little basing level right here, where this piece came in a little bit shy on Tuesday morning, is actually where we're looking to take our next shorts. I like this level. It's not very big, this 132.45, right? So 132.45 is where we're looking for it to pull. Okay. We can pull this, like you can see, bounce, 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 bounce. Literally almost dead on. So yeah, I think right now we look top and bottom wise. I think we're looking, and again, we talked about this one hitting here, this 132.24. You can see right there, 131. I said get out before it turns. It turned right there at the 30. I missed it by 3 pips where the bottom was. So again, confirm level sitting right down there. Let's mark this off so we know. Yeah, we'll mark it off. It's okay. We're gonna mark that off right there as well. We're gonna put this as kind of our top and bottom levels right now. We'll change this to a green. I'm good with that as a green because it is pulled far enough away at this point. I think right now, here's our kind of sideways channel for this one. I actually do think it will turn and flip. I do think it will prepare for next year. Um, all right. So I like that for a turn and flip. And like I said, 12 pips, all over that. Love that. 12 pips, I'm good with that one. I think this one could come in today. I think it could come in today. Um, I think it's within range. I think this one hits. Okay. Um, yeah, I think we're good either way. Dollar Swiss. All right, so dollar Swiss, we had mentioned this the other day. You can see it took a nice hit. And again, if you didn't want to take the full, this one, it actually formed at 1 o'clock on Thursday. You could have used it this way and said, okay, there's my base, there's my confirmation. And I think it hit. Yeah, it hit. You would have had this little kind of short today. I like this one where it is right now. I think it makes sense. It had a strong run up all day yesterday. We were already looking for a reversal, and it looks like, again, this was from one of the bigger time zones or the bigger time frames. It did move about 30 pips, which, again, typically things like dollar Swiss. Um, we tend to see this 30, 35. So, um, let me make some adjustments on this one. I'm going to bring this one down. We're going to box it off of here. Okay, two things I'm looking at, and that's what I was looking for right here. Um, you know what? Let me draw it this way. I actually do like the long position here, particularly with the way that we're building this up right now. Okay. I'm going to throw this here. And we're going to make this one small just so it's easy to see. I'm going to put an alert on this one, and I'll tell you why in a sec. Let's put this here. And let's put this here. Right. Nice racetrack. Okay. We have a hit. We kind of have a confirmation. We have a hit again, and we're hitting again, and we're starting to form buyers. It could absolutely hit this thing and roll back down again. But I think when this finally goes through and starts to punch, there's nothing stopping it. With interest rate rises and things like that next week, I think we are good. Right there. Let's turn this one green. Right. Um, So yeah, that's my kind of next setup on this one. Again, right now, if it turns and starts to roll back again, it should go lower. It has room to kind of get all the way back down, but overall, I think we're going to start seeing a lot more dollar strength roll in. So right now, for me, this is the trade for dollar Swiss. Look for the break above, pull back, and then take off. And again, could we shrink it and use just this kind of basing level here? We probably could. But overall, this should be able to run all the way up to here, is I think where we need. It can go that far, and you can see that's right below the 50. So like that one to the top side. Dollar yen. All right. So we were calling for this one higher, and we talked about kind of a punch through. It did that, right? If here was the level of basing, right? If here's the level of basing, and I said it was going to turn back here. It ended up turning up like that. It was like that. So I was close, right? I was close, but that's where it moved. Um, hmm. Oops. All right. So it's moving. Now, we mentioned before there was a 61.8 level. It was an old level in the past. So we were going to kind of keep it on the radar to see what it did with it. Oops. You can see it had some issues with that one. So I think it makes a lot of sense where it is right now. Let's extend the. Oops, that was a big lump. Let's extend this higher. Do I want to use that one? No. We're going to pull that one off. Sitting right there. That's what I'm looking at right now. Look at this little base right here. Drop, pulls back, bases in one, and then pops down, and then hits it and goes. It's a decent confirmation. All right. So, we got to go on this one. 77. Yeah, I would say that there is probably a potential reversal sitting in that spot. Question is, it's got about 90 pips to move, right? Or 70 pips, right? It has a daily ATR of 130. It's got a 4 hour ATR of 60. 4 hours from now puts us at 2 o'clock in the afternoon without any lack of news. Could we go up there? Could we base? And then could we roll back down in time before we end for the week? Mm, that could be a little bit difficult. Now, the other yen based pairs, we're seeing that it is kind of a little high. So I'm wondering if this is maybe a potential setup for Sunday like this. I'm wondering if this is what this will look like. And maybe it does it. Maybe we hit it by 1 o'clock. Maybe that the trade does come in today. Maybe we get like a nice little surge in the next 2 hours and we can get in by 12. I mean, in 4 hours, it can move 61 pips. This is only 20 pip risk with 60 in the other direction. So technically speaking, if we hit it in 2 hours, we have 4 hours worth of ATR for this to push right back to the downside. And we don't have any other really influence besides the dollar. So it's a proxy play. We get any type of a pullback. We see the dollar strength kind of creeping in, preparing for the weekend. It's there, but at the same time, again, all this dollar movement this morning, when the profit taking comes in, it's more of a kind of reversal play to the downside. So, um, yeah, yeah. Um, okay. So, I think that's not bad. All right, let's look at crude and cry a little bit. Again, we had the same level. We had the confirmation. We had this draw on the other day. We talked about it, and there you go. There was your hit this morning at 8:30 in the morning. We had marked off two levels. We had drawn this one and said, hey, look at all this in here. It's very difficult to draw a basing level from it. We did it, and it was fine, and ended up hitting it. We just said, if you want to be more aggressive, we like the 77.22, but if you want to be more aggressive, this base had a very strong push off, and we tagged that Wednesday at 10, that's what we were hitting when we talked about it. We dropped all the way back down again. Well, we hit it this morning and we drove right back down again. So the levels worked 2 times. At this point, I think we're starting to run out of steam. Um, Obviously in this pushback, the 78 has been pulled back to, so we can remove it. We can turn and flip it to the other direction and kind of get an idea of where we stand. Um, you can see when we pulled up the 23 did nothing. It kind of went all the way down to the 78. Yeah, so I'm going to say none of those are really strong levels right now. So for me, I don't think this one stops. The big question is, will we push through this one? I think the next exhaustion period, again, is going to be back up at that 77.22 mark. That's weird. The lights are flickering. If I lose you guys in a second, it's because the lights are flickering. Um, hmm. Hmm. Now, oil does close early, right? Oil will close earlier than the overall markets. Hmm. I don't know that this is going to hold again. Came back really quick. Yeah, yeah. I think 77.22. I think that's the next chance we have. And again, there'll be support and resistance traders up there playing around. I'm just not as comfortable with this level. I mean, again, two great responses off of it again, but this is not that far of a pullback to find extra buyers to kind of punch that through the top side. So, eh. Let's see. Is there any headlines that are helping this one? No, just oil forecast. So, yeah. So I think this one comes up. I think a potential reversal at 77.22. We'll see if we get any news over the weekend to turn this and flip this one. But again, that nice little level from Wednesday we drew has provided two different nice little setups. One Wednesday and then obviously this morning early. But I hate to say it again. I said it Wednesday. I think bullish. I hate to say bullish oil, but yeah, I feel like it's there. Natural gas, you can see this one has gone quite higher. So we talked about 265. We hit 265 at 11 o'clock right after we talked, and it drove all the way right back down again. So we got the movement off of it, and again, adding another hit to it, we didn't expect it to hold again. That was kind of the last one. We had your one, your two. You could say that was a three if you didn't because it didn't hit, or if you only counted this as a one. There's one, there's two, there's three. It should not have hold again. It didn't. It actually based on the other side and then took off. And we talked about this top level for natural gas all the way up there, and that's exactly what it ran into. You could have used the old zone that we used here. You could have refined this one a little bit and said, okay, I'm not going to use that whole bit. Let's make it really conservative and go right in there. So it's bottom, top, bottom, bottom, bottom. And that would have also worked. It would have mattered which one you took. The 1 to 3 is out at this point. So right now with natural gas, we're at 270, almost 274. We're really, really close. I think it has the ability to go a little bit higher. Um, yeah, yeah, I feel like it's coming up to 278. Um, Again, maybe we get some weather help. I do like it up here. I do think it makes sense for it to be up here. I would say next week early on, I do think it turns and probably rolls and we get a little bit of relief. Again, the farther we start pushing, getting closer to fall, we should see this starting to pull back a little bit as weather can, as different areas are not using the, um, you know, I guess the best way to say it is Texas can't stay hot forever. I know that it's not necessarily true, but Dallas, it can be 112 and 6 months later there's 4 months worth of ice storms. So, yeah, um, I think natural gas goes higher. The big question will be is what does it do here? But we pushed it pretty deep, so I think in either direction it could go higher. So it's there. Um, Gold. So gold, we were calling about gold coming back down again. We completed the Harry Potter out here Wednesday at 7:30. We came back up again, and this one had already pushed. We knew it wasn't going to be high. We were looking for 1990. It ended up making up to 1987 before turning and rolling back down. You can see profit target one we mentioned down here was going to be sitting at this level. Actually, a little bit before that, the red is sitting right right there. If I bring that across, you can see that's what we ran into, pulled back up, and now again, look at all the basing in here before going lower. The reality on this one is, I think this one has more room to run to the downside. We can take a couple of these off just to kind of clean it up a little bit. And again, this is not the greatest of bottoms. I think really the next time where I'm like, yeah, I love this buy is 1933.81. You can see profit taking at 1937. The basing right here is not horrible. Eh, overall, looking at this one, there's not really a great buy in here. Again, I think the writing's on the wall. Everybody's raising interest rates. The battle against inflation is still going. We talked about being a nice little short. I mean, it's down 0.5%. It's only 10. It's $10 down. I think we probably end somewhere in this area. If we had to draw, somewhere in here is probably where we're going to close for the week. Overall, I think it will grind its way back down again in preparation for next week with the different interest rate rises. It seems like across the board, everybody's going to raise 0.25. But again, puts even more pressure on gold at this point. But going into next week, I think Sunday's an important place for this one. Right now, where's our setups? Again, this market also being a commodity will close a little bit earlier. We can run something in here. If this does start to bottom out and start to push back up again, again, I think that's if we do push back up again, I would say that 1931 or 1971.30, decent spot. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I think I'm fine with that one. Yeah, I think that's good. I'm okay with that one. Again, we got to find a bottom. I don't like any longs in that one, but I do think a short on from this level here is not the worst of trades. Again, it is sitting right at the 50% retracement level. All right. Silver. All right, silver. Again, you can see the 25 has been such a big deal. We've talked about it. Look at all the hits, all the basing in there. The punch a little bit higher, and it's like once it collapses, again, red, green, red, smash back down again. We know we have buyers in the area we're at right now. So, again, we talked about a break below 24.55. There's a push there, right? There's a big push. 24.16. Um, Yeah, I I like the short from here. The problem with this one is it's 10:27. Again, with only a few hours left in this one, you gotta kind of see where it pushes down. Um, eh, kind of like this for a Sunday setup. I don't think there'll be enough time for us to get the base and the drop in this one, like the base and pull back to it. I'd like it to really, God, I really like if it would just form a base right in here. I think that would be great. If we could get a base here, I'll put this orange so it's a different color. If we could get a base in here and maybe a little bit of a pullback, this could be a Sunday night kind of a little bit of a gap situation, right? If we can get our base in here, we push back down, hit it, and then Sunday happens. I think that. Oops. No, I wanted to delete that last one. Oops. Right there. There we go. Yeah, yeah. I mean, overall, I think that's a decent play. I like that. I like that push all the way back down again. We know the profit taking should be coming in right about there for this one. So overall, I like the way this one's setting up. Again, if you're a silver person, this is. I mean, if this was a currency trade, I'd be all over this one. But again, for silver, I like what we're doing right now. I like what I'm seeing here for this drop all the way back down. Uh, Apple and pulling back a little negativity in Apple today, right? The Nasdaq rebalances it coming and it's boosting interest. Yeah, probably a little bit. Tesla, we already know Tesla. Yesterday, Tesla just got nuked, so it's just kind of some residuals on that one. So VIX, you can see VIX is it's funny. VIX is heading down, but we do have a little bit of red out there. There's just not a lot of volatility out there to be able to push this. So again, makes sense. Dollar, again, dollar starting to rally. Obviously, the market knows what's coming next week. And we are in the racetrack. We mentioned that on Wednesday that, listen, we have this racetrack here. Really, until we get up to this level, there's no confirmed sellers coming in for the dollar. Let's change this to yellow because it's going to mess me up. Nobody in here. So we have the ability to continue to grind higher in that one. Should that wreck the indices? If it has to wreck anybody, I would say probably. I mean, again, we know NQ's having some issues with margins right now. Again, Tesla, some comments, right? We've had some comments about not meeting third quarter and profit being down. So that's why we're seeing that. And that's probably where the pressure's coming from. But with the dollar grinding, ES for the most part, it's positive, just barely. It looks like it's holding on. I don't think that it's a lost cause yet. If you go down to kind of the opening print today, you can see 845, 930 was sitting right here, was pulling back again. There was a level from yesterday that it did base off of. I think it's a dangerous level. It was there. You can see right there. I mean, there was a confirmation on it. It was there a lot. It kind of hit it at 12. And then again, 9 o'clock this morning it missed opening print by a little bit. Opening print is the second red candle here and push back down. We are in an area right now where, hey, you know what? There's buyers sitting right down here, right? We have confirmed buyers in the overnight. We just pushed down there right now. It is 10:30. If we're going to see a reversal today, now is when the reversal comes in. So, yeah, I think if there's going to be a reversal, I think this is where it's coming in at. Again, they are confirmed here. I'm a little bit off on this one to the downside, but we'll put it there. Kind of right in that level. Now's when you see it. And again, is there really much out there right now? I mean, anything today, US wise? Not really, right? There's no real reason except if it's preparing for next week. There's nothing out there, you know? Um, Something very strange explains why the US recession has been delayed. Well, maybe because people keep spending money. So, I mean, overall, not a whole lot. I mean, again, a lot of statements, but the gloom and doom is not here. So I think if a reversal's coming in, I think we're ready to go. Obviously, no opening print. It had just gone off a level here, so it's kind of hard. There's nothing to buy from. So maybe, but if you got the short, you were good to go. It would have been like a 915 short. Nice grab, a little bit risky, but overall decent. NQ. NQ looked exactly the same. You can see 915. We're holding firm there. There happened to be a level sitting right there. So, I mean, kind of the same thing. Actually, you know what? 930. Actually, the 930 pulled back to that level. So you could have actually gotten short this one. I think this one's a little bit different. With ES, we were kind of pushing all the way down here at 930. It never pulled back up, so you probably would have missed it. NQ was a little bit different in the fact that it opened here and then came back and touched it and then continued to go lower. So I'm actually going to say that, yeah, you would have probably grabbed the opening print on this one. And unfortunately, can we trade it right now? No, it just got out. There's your 1 to 3. Makes sense. Also, again, I don't like this one as much because this test here late last night went pretty deep in there. But you can see right now, if it's going to reverse at 10:30, we're in an area right now where you see those reversals. YM, let's see. We drew this one. We drew this yesterday. Kind of the same thing. We're like, hey, listen, there's a zone sitting right there. That's where we hit right at 9 o'clock this morning. The 9:30 candles here. It did go back and retest it. So you could have tried to use this level right here and play if there was a pullback. It did. It pulled back and then closed out and shot all the way down. So you could have got a 1 to 3 out of YM as well. But YM right now, it is positive. It's technically the strongest, but the reality is, again, it's kind of boxed in. We're sitting right at the 50-50 mark. The 9:30 candle opened here. So we're almost exactly where we opened for the day. Again, if ES reverses, NQ reverses, NQ should be able to power through this 35,500 level. So yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think they're both pretty decent. The only problem with that is going to be this. Mm, Mm. It may be able to get us momentum. Again, if we're gonna really, if it's gonna be a green day, we're gonna have to smash through this one. A true green day. We're gonna have to smash through this. And again, we do have a touch here, and we're trying again with forming a base. So it's building up to break through that level. If we can break through the top side of that one, I think it'll be a decent day, right? The 135 or 35, 548. Okay. All right. Yeah, okay with that one. Was not opening print. Russell, yeah, 930 is right here. You can see it was a little bit shy. If anything, you would have said there's a zone right there. It did have a run up. It's 845, 9, 915, 930 came in here. So honestly, not super clean, I think, of any of them. NQ probably had the easiest. YM, you could have drawn it here and said, okay, listen, if we didn't take that one, there's a new top with a confirmation. You could have taken it here and read this one twice. Russell, I would love to say that, hey, listen, you should have. Unfortunately, the way these candles formed, not really. The 915 was high. You would not have used that one, and it's too far away right now. But you can see it's also putting green in. And at the same time, look at the buyers sitting right down here, right? We have buyers. It is confirmed, and now it smashed it, went up, smashed it. And again, all four pairs are kind of hitting levels where we've had buyers step in the past. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think we're good with all those. So again, I think reversals will come in. As far as opening print, they all kind of had quasi entries on them. Again, I think ES. Again, ES a little bit dangerous. Been there before. NQ absolutely was an easy level, and it was holding, and it actually did pull back to the level with a confirmation, so you could have got it there. YM not so much, but there was a level that you could have grabbed and actually hit it a second time. And Russell just was a little bit funky, so not a lot in there. I think Tesla's really dragging these down right now. But again, 1030 is when we tend to see reversals. All of them hitting areas, and we're starting to see buyers step in, which makes sense. The dollar also, again, 1030, if they're going to take profit, now is when we're starting to see that. If the dollar turns and rolls, you should head back to the downside also. So, and let's see, what is gold doing? Silver helping us form that base. And again, look, gold is rallying, showing us that, again, we a little bit more of a weaker dollar. So it's setting up for reversal. So we'll see. I love it. 6 minutes ago. Dollar slips as gold firms. And then boom, here you go. Right? So again, yeah, Fed, everybody's focusing on the Fed next week. So yeah, a little bit of pre-movement. So I'm good with it. All right, let's go ahead and do our drawing today. Again, nothing Saturday, Sunday, nothing necessarily big that's going to affect us. And then again, Monday morning, starting off with all the PMI data. I think there could only be upward surprises. The Euro flash one, I think we're here is good. But again, having a 48 in France has the potential. Again, if it's below 50, it's below 50. It was already there. Has the potential of being close to going above 50. And then again, maybe this, manufacturing gets, I mean, we saw surprising manufacturing data in Empire and Philly. Maybe this PMI number goes up and it goes above, showing an expansion in manufacturing. Could be something decent. So just keep an eye on that Monday morning. Again, this all comes in super, super early, but I think Sunday night's good. All right, let's go ahead and do our drawing. Ooh, going in big again. All right, I'm going to take this to 2:30 because I need to go grab the boy. Melissa has a meeting she needs to jump into, so I'm a little bit late today. 9 more seconds. See if anybody else puts in. Neuro went a little bit heavy. It is a 50 pip chip day, obviously, because I wasn't here yesterday. So, again, you can spend a little bit more. All right. There you go, 2:30. Oh, I missed it by 1. Bad me. All right, winner of today's drawing is Ernest took it. He baited him and got him. So, Ernest goes ahead and gets his 100th out of this one. Again, overall, still, I guess he made 10 pips today, right? Because you would have used 90 and you made 100. So you made 10. So Monday will be the big showdown. We'll see what happens on Monday. So there we go. Fed to keep squeezed with another, 25 basis points. But the thing is, everybody knows this at this point, right? Everybody knows that it's going to be 0.25. Imagine if they surprise and don't raise it. Woohoo! But everybody knows 0.25 should be like, hey, 0.25 and we're going to pause. Should be a very, very negative trade next week. So again, let the dollar continue to raise. I think negativity is coming. So All right. With that, I'm out of here. You guys have a great weekend. Everybody stay cool. I will catch you guys Monday morning. Actually, I'm sorry. Monday morning, I won't. I won't. I'm back at Navy again for a championship game. So I will not be on Monday morning. But it's an 8:30 in the morning game, 8:30 to 9:30. So I may actually, if I can get out right at 9:30, I may run back and maybe I'll try to start it at 10 o'clock if I can get back in time. But that's the plan right now. It's an 8:30 championship game for the camp that they have in. Um, I know I can't obviously end at 9:30 there and get here at 9:30, but I may be able to go on at 10. So if I can get home at 10 by 10 o'clock, I'll start just 30 minutes late. But just want to keep you guys updated for next week. So with that, I'm out of here. You guys have a great weekend. Thank you again for joining me, and I'll see you then. Take care.